feeling. Why did you do that?
Sometimes you have to slap them in the face just to get their attention.
Good morning, Nerdvengers. We'll get started in just a couple minutes. Do me a favor and hit like on your way in and, get that hot cocoa ready. And we're going to talk about the demise of Hollywood. See you soon.
Twas the night before Christmas. Wait, twas? What's twas? Is that short for it was? What kind of rush are you in, man? You can't just say it was. Oh, you saved a lot of time there, fella. Oh, don't come at me with that it was stuff. I got things to do. Gotta get down to the donut shop.
Uh-oh. The moderator's in here, huh? Watch out for that guy. How did he get a... Alrighty then. Nerd Vengers, Broke Vengers, visitors to the towers. How are we this fine morning? Welcome to the morning stream. Very happy to be here with you guys. Getting very close to the holiday season, man. It's that time of year. I'm excited. I love this time of year. I know it's different. It's a different flavor of it this year, a different version of the holiday season, but I still like this time of year. I'm happy to be here with you guys. You know what I mean? Hanging out and just enjoying winding down, as it were. You know what I mean? As it were. By the way, show notes, ladies and gentlemen, show notes. A lot of cool stuff I'm working on behind the scenes, okay? If you're a DC fan, let me explain something. If you're a DC fan, I know that we haven't been talking about a ton of DC stuff lately. And I will just tell you that we have a lot of cool DC stuff on the way. We're organizing a big DC stream that is involved with some other people. That's all I can say about it for now. But if you're a DC fan, especially particularly a Snyder Cut fan, you're going to be pretty happy about that. We're also going to, as a community with the Nerd Vengers and the members, we are going to watch Wonder Woman together as a watch party when it releases on HBO Max. We are trying to set up an event that is going to be like a red carpet event that we do a stream where we all dress up together. It'll be like a Christmassy themed red carpet stream. We're trying to figure out the logistics of that, but regardless, we're going to be doing that, and we're going to be talking about a lot more DC stuff next year. And the reality is, too, folks, just as more nerdy stuff happens, and next year seems like it's going to be really, really crazy, especially with a lot of this stuff moving into streaming, which is going to be the main topic of today. But the point is, we will be doing a lot of what I consider to be ancillary content to these things. And so, man, we've been having a blast with The Mandalorian. I know you guys have been having a blast. We have a really cool schedule with how we cover it. We do preview videos, we do watch parties, we do breakdowns, we talk about it a lot. As we move into next year, the talk of the week, the talk of the month is going to shift around a lot more. Right now, it's just The Mandalorian. But you have a ton of DC stuff happening. You have a ton of Marvel stuff happening. So subscribe to the channel. Become a channel member today so that by the time this stuff is happening, you have a dope-looking, prestigious Nerd Vengers badge next to your name as we're all having these awesome times together. So just want to kind of bring that up because this is really fun right now, but dang, next year's going to be absolutely insane. So I'm pretty excited. I hope you guys are too. Of course, this week, Thursday, we have After Dark. We have Mandalorian at 3 a.m., which is technically Friday, but we also have this massive stream, the Investor Day stream. I'm trying to think of whether or not I want to be streaming during the whole thing. Maybe I won't. In fact, what I think might be the play is to do a stream after the 4-hour presentation that is sort of like a recap and a breakdown of everything that was announced. Because as of right now, I'm a little bit confused. I'm hearing some weird things. Like, they're going to preview a lot, but they're also going to black the screen out on the live stream for certain previews that are not ready for the public that will only be shown to investors and influencers and people of the media. That sucks. Straight up. No way around it. I hate it. But if we wait to do the stream till after the whole thing, we can try to find leaks, or we can at least see what people are saying about it. People in the media might talk about it, and then we can at least talk about, secondhand or whatever was going on. So Thursday's going to be a very, very big day for the channel. That's the point. Also, if you're a Nerdvenger, this Saturday at noon, come on by for Das Nerdvenger stream. It's going to be a very, very important stream. I have a lot to go over with you guys because we didn't talk last week at all. Okay. I think that's good. I think we did it. Good job. No. It's the holidays, chat. I'm feeling good, man. You know what I mean? Hey, you did a good job. No. You can't get an extra quarter today. Okay. Let's talk about this HBO thing, man. Warner Media. Pretty interesting. This, of course, happened, I believe, a couple of days ago, correct? But it is just now being responded to by a lot of different people in Hollywood. So let me just get a baseline here, because this is what's so interesting about this. My gut tells me, ladies and gentlemen, oh, we got a couple new members. Liam Gibson, you're a Nerdvenger now. Welcome to the Nerdvengers. Robert, you're a Nerdvenger now as well, Robert. Welcome to the Nerdvengers. Come on by Saturday, guys, for the behind-the-scenes stuff. It's going to be juicy. So let me get a temperature in the chat. I think I know where we're all at with this, but I always like to know for sure. Are you positive or negative on the HBO or the Warner Media move? So Warner Media announced all of their movies, the theatrical slate for 2021, will all be releasing same day and date on HBO Max for no additional cost. You like this or you don't like this? This is good thing? This is bad thing? You tell me in the chat. I want to know. I think most of you know where I'm at with it. Well, the OGs do. Wow, a little bit of a mixed bag here. Let's see here. Positive, love, positive, full, negative, good, negative, positive, good. Good, love it. Okay, so a lot more positive, yeah. Which is what I expected. Bad for my AMC stock. Yeah. Positive, fuck Christopher Nolan. Yeah, I actually tend to agree there. It's actually funny that you say that. Positive. Nerdette's newsstand says. Some people say bad. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and say, and again, this isn't scientific at all, but what it looks like to me is something like a 70-30, 80-20 kind of split. Okay? Seems like most people are positive on it, but maybe you could argue a third of people are not. Former bros, right. Yeah, James Heaton says, letting people view your content in the manner of their choosing, that making them feel comfortable, making them feel safe and comfortable is the way to go 100%. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I of course tend to agree. Now, my feeling on this, look, fuck, man. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to keep it a buck. My feeling on this is not just positive, but like excited positivity. I'm very giddy about it, actually. And I think this is just more of the economic side of my brain. I'm fascinated by business. I'm fascinated by economics. And look, man, y'all know who John Stanky is? Does anybody even know who John Stanky is in this chat? I bet some people do because you've been reading articles and stuff like that, right? But I believe the man's name is Jason Kilar. That's the new CEO, right? Let me double check this. We got the internet in front of us. Let's be smart about this. Let's see here. Warner. I believe his name is Jason Kilar. I just want to double check. And Stanky is his boss. Oh, man. How can I... What the heck, man? Let's see here. Jason... Oh, cool. It is Jason. Okay, cool. Right. Okay. I like this guy, by the way. I really like this guy. This guy's getting shit on right now, but I like this guy. Okay. So, here's the point. This is what's interesting. I think the biggest macro point that I really want to nail home to everybody is that you have, I think, a lot of people in the Hollywood system that are going to get squeezed. And they're going to get squeezed super hard. And they're actually already getting squeezed. They've been getting squeezed for like a decade. But like this just accelerated it. And the thing is, they're going to be squeezed by two people that in the economic sense, like it's over. Like throw the towel in, basically. Because think about this. Most people that are on the consumer side of that product, the people that consume it, the people that buy it, that go to the theater, the people that buy it for their Xbox, the people that get the Blu-rays, all those people, the vast majority of them do not care about the problems that the people in Hollywood are facing. They don't care at all. Like zero. Like, okay. One of the things that's coming out, and I might be a little bit of ADD about this, guys. I'm sorry. I'm going to try to chug this coffee. Maybe in the second hour, we'll get to more coherence, okay? But here's the thing. They paid Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot like $5 million each, is what I'm hearing, right? And this is back-end deal stuff. And this is because the movie was supposed to come out and crush in theaters. It was $1 billion, well, close to $1 billion first movie, super big movie for them. So they gave them a little bit of the back end money that they would have received otherwise. Okay? But for the rest of the films in 2021, they didn't do that, right? And that's because I would assume John Stanky and Jason Kilar looked at that move with Patty and Gal and were probably like, what the fuck are you doing with daddy's money? Are you out of your goddamn mind? Do you think we're going to be able to pay back-end deals on a dozen major motion pictures in 2021 in a diminished industry that will never be the same? I'm going to bend you over my knee and teach you a lesson. That's probably what Kilar and Stanky thought on the real. Because in the economic sense, that is the most absurd thing I've ever heard. That's like giving a bonus to the people polishing the brass on the sinking Titanic. It makes zero sense. It's absurd. But that's not even really let me digress. What I was talking about was the people that consume the product mostly don't care. Like, dude, James Gunn's not going to get a back-end bonus on Suicide Squad next year. Please find me a person that gives a fuck. Besides someone in Hollywood, right? Besides someone that maybe union or someone that really cares about that, or someone that's thinking of the macroeconomics on that. The problem that these people are going to have is we don't care at all. Like that's not a driving force in our business decisions. It's not going to matter. Okay, it doesn't matter. And as I sort of just alluded to, the people on the other side, this is the squeeze. This is what I see happening is the squeeze. The people on the other side of that, Kilar and AT&T, a telecommunications company. It's a telecommunications company. They don't care either. At all. At all. This is dollars and cents. This is the greatest shift to the modern economy we've ever seen. You know? So, to me, I see all these people and, you know, all the Hollywood people, you know, crying out. You know, like Nolan made a big stink of it. The president of AMC made a big stink of it. I think you'll find that a lot of these people are going to make a big stink of it because they want their money. Well, here's the thing. There's a clause in every contract well, any good contract, that is a act of God clause. And considering that industry, I mean, like, apparently they took a lot of the back end incentives and they even moved them down because they're still opening stuff in theaters and they assume they're still going to get some money in theaters, right? But it's going to be drastically diminished, as you can imagine. So there's still technically incentives built in, and some of these people might still hit their numbers, especially in the back end of the year if the theaters really pick up. So it's not necessarily as draconian as you might think. But I think what's really happening is the recognition that that old way and that old system and that old factory is done. Like, it's just done. But again, it was already dying. Like, I'm sorry, Hollywood, but Marvel Studios essentially injected life force into your dying corpse like a decade ago, and you've been riding that. You know what I mean? Like, think about it, dude. Like, yeah. I just think there's a lot of people that are in denial of where the industry was already going and where it's going to go from here. And you know, it's funny because apparently we're going to get into some weird legal stuff with this where, like, these people might now not want to promote their stuff. They might not promote these films, dude. Like, James Gunn might not promote Suicide Squad. Bro. Again, harsh wake up coming for these people. They don't need you to promote the movie? What? What are we gonna do if James Gunn doesn't go to fucking Comic-Con? What's Comic-Con? Yeah. So my thing with this whole thing is, like, I totally understand it. Like, I get it, and I get people being very upset and, like, you know, mad about it and all that. But, like, the times, they are a-changing, man. I think HBO is blazing a trail. I think Jason Kilar is blazing a trail. I think he actually has a very good understanding of how IP plays into the long game, what they're trying to do with branding and streaming. Think about this. This is a really weird idea, but maybe it'll give you some idea of where we're going. If in the future you can access any type of information, anything ever, just with the sound of your voice, right? Which is kind of like what we have with Alexa right now, right? But you're like, hey, throw on a show. You know what I mean? I think it might actually get to the point someday where you don't even pick the show. The algorithm and the machine learning picks it for you based on your moods and biomarkers and weird stuff like that. You know? Well, in that kind of a scenario, the only real difference between those pieces of data to the machine is, like, branding. Like, it's all about, like, brand. And I think HBO Max and HBO and Warner Media, they understand that they just need to exist in whatever the system becomes. You know what I mean? And it's so clearly changing. I mean, it's rapidly being democratized. And I actually wouldn't mind it. Like, okay, so let's think about this. I was actually thinking about this with sports as well, because I don't know if this will happen in sports, but it could happen in sports where, I mean, if the revenue for huge sports teams diminishes greatly in the next couple of years, they can't afford to pay all these superstars. Like, you can't afford to pay LeBron all that money if it's not generating revenue, right? So if all that gets diminished, imagine what would happen if all the big players of the NBA left the NBA and you brought in a whole new sort of, I guess, almost lifeblood of people that weren't superstars. They're super talented. They're super hungry. They're getting paid way less. Would you still watch the NBA? That's the question. And I think the obvious answer is if the games were good, right? So it's sort of like, if you think about it, who's in the driving chair? It should ultimately be the consumers. I don't really think the consumers care as much about some of this stuff that's considered more sacred to like the Hollywood folk. Yeah. It's interesting. You know, regardless of what happens, I think it's interesting. Yeah, exactly. Like the replacements. What if we had the replacements Hollywood? I don't know if we would care at all. If the acting was good. You know, a lot of this stuff too is, it's so funny. People get such an ego and they get so full of themselves when like regardless of the industry or regardless of the field, usually there's a small group of people that get most of the work. That's actually just a nature distribution. The 20-80 rule is probably more physics than it is hustle. People get these weird ideas, delusions of grandeur. Wake up call, man. Wake up call. But then again, I'm just one man on the internet. That's just one man's opinion. That's just one man's opinion. So the next question, and we'll go into this for a little bit, and then we'll get into Q&A, ladies and gentlemen. The next question becomes, will Disney follow suit? Will the Mouse House put the next nail in the coffin? And as of now, I'm hearing no. If I were Disney, I would absolutely follow suit. Because if I were Disney, I would understand that I don't care about winning the admiration of theaters or 50-plus-year-old Hollywood people. Why would I care about being the coolest person at that party when clearly the bigger party and the bigger picture is the streaming game? And HBO Max is over there flaunting it. I want to be cool with that crowd. That's the crowd I want to be cool with. How do you become cool with that crowd? Give us all the MCU movies on Disney Plus next year for free, along with going to the theaters. I'll probably still see a lot of them in theaters. I'll see them actually the third day of release instead of the first day. I'll watch them with the Nerd Vengers first. Then I'll go to the theater and experience myself. And that's my prerogative, right? But I think that's the game. The question becomes, are there too many? Like, here's really what it comes down to from my perspective. Again, this is crass. This is a crass Josh business take. This is old school. This is like 4 or 5 months ago. We used to do this a lot more. Before The Mandalorian came out, we've been talking about this stuff almost all year. And so, yeah, am I being a little crass? Absolutely. Business is crass. It's brutal. It's not show friends. It's show business. You know what I'm saying? My opinion is that Disney should absolutely do this. And in fact, the only reason they won't do it is if there are too many dinosaurs in the pipeline. The only thing holding them back are the dinosaurs in the pipeline. Now, Jason Kilar and AT&T, whoa, have they shown that they are willing to let dinosaurs die. They're moving and shaking, man. But to be fair, Warner Brothers wasn't exactly at the place that Disney was when they were bought, right? So Disney's actually like kind of big kid on campus. So they don't necessarily need or feel the need to act that way. They don't have a culture like that. They have a different kind of culture. AT&T was like, hey man, it's a new owner. We're shaking it up, rebuilding. Go after the championship later. And now they're kind of like taking a run at it. So I can't sit here and tell you that I think Disney will do this. I can't sit here and tell you that I think Disney will follow suit. What I can tell you is if the smartest people in the room at the Disney meetings actually get heard and understood, then they will follow HBO's pattern. I just don't know if that will happen. Yeah. Which, again, would be incredible for us. It would be so good for YouTubers, for content creators, for streamers, for people. We give it back to you, the people. By the way, can we get a couple more likes on this? I'm not a greedy man, but just like 200 more, you know? Just like 200 more would do me, you know? I'd feel pretty good with like 200 more. All right, now I'm going to look at the chat. Has anything I've said today made any sense? Not exactly super coherent. We streamed for like 4 hours last night, me and Theory, dude. I was tired. You started at 7:20. Did we start that late? Holy cow. Sexy sweater. Thank you. 4 hours. I know. Just finished the Nerd Theory stream. Fucking killer episode. Dope. Glad you liked it, man. You need to get Theory into Marvel. Theory is into Marvel, dude. Theory's into Marvel. We'll get the man on some Marvel stuff next year for sure. Sexy sweater indeed. Let's see it. Only because Nikki asked. Oh, this is my jolly face. I can't stand up anymore though because I'm not wearing pants. Slow start today in the tower. Slow start. All right, let's get... Hey! All right, time to get into these super chats. We only got a couple. I'm going to just go into these real quick, and then we'll just continue to talk about what you guys want to talk about. David Bruce says, was down to 300 a week. Now my restaurant is temporarily closed due to COVID. I have 0 Fs to give to sad Hollywood while on unemployment. Yeah, look, there's 2 ways to think of this, David. One, and I totally agree with you, and you can get, sort of upset about it and be like, you know what, screw those people, man. Like, you know what I mean? And I totally understand that. I'm not necessarily there. I'm more like at this place where I'm just kind of like, guys, like if I were talking to Hollywood people, I'd be like, look, what David is saying is true. And it's fact. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody cares. Oh, your back end deal and all this. I'm sorry. Let's just talk facts, straight facts. Nobody cares. So I'm not saying you're not getting screwed. You are getting screwed. Guess what? So's like the world. The world. Yeah. So I feel you, Dave. I feel you. Michael says, I see you, but do not know you. What is your stance on pop culture and for the geeks, which is dead now? Thank you. I hope you are a good person. First time here. Well, thank you for the very generous super chat. I have no idea how to answer that question, though. I'm sorry. This will probably be your first and last time here, Michael, because I don't know how to answer that shit, bro. Jonathan Goff says, it absolutely makes sense, Josh. You've got some great insight here. How do you see financial agreements evolving for talent? It's all about leverage, right? Every contract, Jonathan, is it's all about leverage. It's all about leverage and deliverables. You know what I mean? Leverage and deliverables. So who's got the leverage? Dude, talent don't. Like, moving forward, I'm sorry. Like, on the production side and maybe on a particular brand or something like that, like, it's funny. I look at someone like The Rock, right? And I think The Rock has an incredible amount of value but it's actually not, has almost nothing to do with his actual acting. Like, as an actor, he's actually not that great. So, you know, on the exact opposite end of that or something, right? You could have like a Joaquin Phoenix or maybe a Daniel Day-Lewis or somebody like that. Well, those motherfuckers ain't got no value moving forward. Like, they have inherent value as an actor. They don't have market value as an asset. Not like Dwayne, right? So I actually think moving forward, you're going to see certain types of actors and certain types of, by the way, agencies, they're see ya, you know what I mean? Certain agencies will last and adjust, but for the most part, gone. Certain actors will still hold a lot of leverage, but it might be different than what it was before. Because box office draw isn't the same. That ain't it. I also think the studios have more leverage because work in general is going to go down. The amount of checks being cut in Hollywood to make new projects is going to go substantially down. Hollywood was a town where they used to spend like, most studios I think spend upwards of $50 million a year on scripts that sit in warehouses that they never do anything with. Do you think that is a sustainable model moving forward? Do you know what I mean? So there's a lot that's going to change, but it's all about leverage and deliverables. No, Disney won't follow them. They're not as desperate for subscribers as the struggling HBO Max. Might not have over 100 million subscribers by March. CGM show, that is a great point. That is a great point because it's true. HBO Max was struggling. They made a bold move. Bold. And apparently their subscribers have been skyrocketing. So, yes, I agree with you insofar as that HBO was more desperate. You know, Warner was more desperate. I agree. Disney's not desperate, but Disney likes to suck the air out of the room. They like to dominate, dude. Like, their branding to the consumer is very family friendly. Their reputation in business is cutthroat. It's ruthless. Like, do not cross the mouse, right? So I just can't imagine them not at least considering the move. And again, my opinion, if they listen to the smartest people in the room, they will follow suit. Disney won't follow suit, says Micah. Warner Brothers will be sued into oblivion for this. Oh, yeah? We'll see about that. They didn't ask investors partners before announcing this. See Legendary's response. Yeah. Yeah. We'll see, won't we? I don't think the lawsuits from these people have much. Look, if minus the Rona, I feel like, yeah, you would have a strong legal case. But I think it's going to be pretty clear to the courts that this is a different type of circumstances and that things needed to happen. You know what I mean? Hey, man, Legendary is obviously free to pursue legal action. But I would wait on that. You know what I mean? I don't think they are sweating these lawsuits at all, bro. At all. Josh I, with the $5 holla, says that 4-hour show last night was fire. Theory doesn't say, take my money, like you say, take my money. P.S. Take my money. I appreciate you, bro. Yeah, so I actually don't usually look at the chat on it because it's just too crazy for me. So I don't know when it's you guys super chatting most of the time. So I apologize about that. But right on, brother. Right on. Nicholas H. with the $5 holla says, Josh, man, have a great day. Thanks, man. I hope you have a great day, too. I think I think I'm going to have a pretty good day. I'm pretty excited about it. Tim says, shout out to you and all the Nerd Vengers. Shout out to you, Tim. Thanks, man. Appreciate the love. Max Ross says, Mando sidetrack. I still can't shake why Ahsoka didn't force push the magistrate. Probably nothing. Maybe foreshadow. Yeah, it's possible that she had the Force. You know what I mean? The magistrate. It's possible she was a Night Sister, so maybe you don't want to make a mistake like that. Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting point. I've always wondered about this too. There was some lines in the Clone Wars where Obi-Wan says that, like, basically essentially to fight and use the Force at the same time is challenging. It's something like even he is working on. So I think that just the focus it takes to do some things like that tends to be the main explanation. Keaton Haas with the 1313 super chat. I see what you did there. Says, Nerd Theory over 4 hours. I love it. I enjoy the conversation and contrast between you and Theory. Love the channel, brother. Thank you so much, Keaton. I appreciate that. Yeah, we got into some really cool stuff last night. I think that Theory, I think our similarities are what sort of brought us together and made us gel. But I think some of our differences make for some of the best pieces of content. When we disagree about something, because we're both very respectful about how we disagree, but we also are pretty strong in the feelings that we have about these disagreements. I think that's great. So, thanks, man. Appreciate it. MLB suing insurance company for act of God coverage. Oh, yeah, you'll see a lot of that. Look, it's all going to... Yes. Yes. You will see a lot of that in the next couple of years. There'll be a lot of judicial action taken. It's business. Annie J says, you look nerdy hot in that sweater, Josh. Aw, Annie, you're going to make me blush. Thank you so much. I appreciate the love. I hope you're doing well. Kristen says, what do you think of Hulu and Disney Plus possibly merging in the coming years? I mean, maybe, sure, down the line. Right now, it doesn't really seem like they need to. That package deal is actually pretty nice. And actually, it's funny because there's actually more perceived value. This is what's interesting. Economics is there's a lot of psychology in economics. If you just take all the content from Hulu and put it on Disney Plus, you actually technically devalue all of that content. Having it all on a separate streaming platform presents the idea of it having more value, okay? Now, let me take you down a little bit of memory road with this. You see, cable companies actually used to lean into this a lot. Cable packages where you get like 16 million channels, right? Cable packages are designed to create the illusion of value, even though they know you're only going to probably watch like 4 to 5 of those channels regularly. Most of them you'll never watch. But it's still perceived as more valuable. Same thing with Hulu. Hulu existing on its own is actually more valuable to Disney, not less. Dan Mitchell with the $5 holla says, what did Ahsoka do with the magistrate? Is the Force Lady more important than we think? Who's at the prison? Hondo? Cad Bane? Please, Cad Bane. So we'll see who's at the prison. We'll see. Is the Force Lady more important than we think? You mean Frog Lady, probably, as I think is what you meant. Or maybe you did mean Force Lady. I'm not sure, Dan. Maybe both are more important. And what did Ahsoka do with the magistrate? We have no idea. I think possibly tortured her, which is crazy. Or she's just holding her captive. Who knows? Per se. But kind of cool. Trev with the $20 Canadian super chat. Holy cow, very generous, Trev. Thank you so much. Where does HBO allocate the money received from subscriptions across all platforms? Do they still have separate entities for Now, Go, etc., or does all sub money go to Max? 57 million subs across all platforms internationally. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the details on it, but I'll tell you that I know that they're cleaning it up. They're trying to clean it up. They're trying to get it all on, one platform. It was not executed the best way, out the gate. But I know they are working on cleaning that up. Here's the thing. HBO Max is, I think, the most expensive of the streaming services out the gate. I think it is out the gate the most expensive of the streaming services. Now, I have been a day one subscriber to HBO Max. I think it's worth it. I think HBO Max has maybe the best UI out of all of the streaming platforms. It's better than Netflix, because Netflix is just an attention-sucking machine. Like, here's what's fucked up about Netflix. And I think Netflix is actually pretty cool, but this is what's fucked up about Netflix. They make the autoplay function happen because they actually know you spend 45 minutes to an hour deciding what to pick. And they actually want that hour from you to put on a spreadsheet to sell more bullshit online and to investors. That's what that is. It's really kind of disgusting when you think about it. Disney Plus is getting better, but out the gate, Disney Plus's UI looked like ass. It looked horrible. It was whack as fuck. But HBO Max, and maybe this is just because they're coming from a telecommunications company, dude, that app is clean, it's fast, it's sexy, it makes sense. It's great. I also find that HBO Max has way more content, at least to me, way more enjoyable content than a lot of these other services. Now, Disney Plus is great, but let's be real, it's a lot of family shit. That's going to change in the next couple of years, but for now, it's a lot of family shit. Dude, the Touchstone Classics movies, or whatever they are called, the TCN, like those old school, like I watch all the Kurosawa movies. I've been watching Hitchcock movies, you know what I mean? Like Sidney Lumet, like just awesome. If you're a cinephile, you know, I just think it's funny because we're talking about how all that shit's dying. But if you like that stuff, it's all on HBO Max. It's great. Cartoon Network, Adult Swim, it's great. The DC stuff, it's great. HBO stuff, it's great. They've got fantastic content. The move to put all the movie stuff in there it just gives this injection of value. It just gives this fat injection of value. And so I think that combined with the library and all the other things that are already really good about it, yeah, I think it's kind of a recipe for success. So I don't know where all the money gets allocated, but I know that they're trying to get that big fat subscription number up each month. Drafter with the $10 holla says, what Jedi or Jedis will show up? And even bigger question, would you consider putting M&Ms in your popcorn? Okay, Drafter, good question. Let me take a sip of my delicious iced coffee before I answer. Yeah. So I'm not a big M&M guy. I like Milk Duds, but I get a big old buttery, salty thing of popcorn, and I throw my Milk Duds into it right when it's nice and hot. And then the Milk Duds and the popcorn kind of fuse to each other and create these like balls of freaking goodness, man. And so that's my play. Milk Duds in the popcorn. So yeah, I see you there. As far as your question about the Jedi, I don't know, man. I've been talking about it a good bit. I think it just makes sense to be Luke. I really think it's going to be Luke, and it's crazy. And again, I'm working on the video today about that and about Ben Solo, and about, you know, the connections to Grogu and stuff, because it's fascinating to me, and I'm really into it. So I'll be dropping that video on the main channel. But yeah, I'm I'm pretty pumped. Pretty pumped for these Jedi to show up. You know what I mean? All right, let's go like 10 more minutes here, guys. Let's go 10 more minutes. And I apologize about being late. I'm trying to get this sorted out. Look, I promise you this. I'll tell you guys this. By the time WandaVision comes out, we'll have a better system. Right now, I'm kind of falling apart. You know what I feel like? Are you guys familiar with the poet, the American poet, Charles Bukowski? Is anybody familiar with Charles Bukowski in chat? Bukowski had this great line. He said, find what you love and then let it kill you. So it's like, it's kind of how I'm feeling these days. But it's good. Drum and Company, what up, brother? Aren't boneless wings just chicky nugs? Yeah, a little bit, aren't they? That's true. Dang. Yeah, that's tough. That's a tough one. The platform is new. I'm sorry, I'm just scrolling up. I'm trying to see what people are saying. I'd rather let Barris off me than eat a milk dud. Well done, sir. Balls of freaking goodness. Believe that. Casey Watson with the $5 holla says, do you think we will ever find out who Grogu's parents are and what planet Yoda is from? I do. I do think we will find out. Quite possibly both of those things. But I don't think he's related to Yoda. That's me. That's me. Man, I just think this movie will make movies like Space Jam 2 and Wonder Woman 2 feel just like Netflix movies. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think, look. To me, Space Jam 2 already felt like a Netflix movie. I mean, here's the thing. This is what's so weird about that. And I feel you, dog. I feel you, Kendall. But I just watched a movie on Netflix called Mank. Anybody familiar with this movie? Mank? You know what it's about? Herman Mankiewicz, Citizen Kane, Orson Welles, that kind of stuff, right? And last year I watched a movie called The Irishman, or what was it, with De Niro? Pesci came back, that crazy ass movie on Netflix. What was that movie on Netflix? You see, we got it twisted, man. Netflix is the only one that actually gives a fuck about cinema anymore. The Irishman, yeah. So I feel you, Kendall. I understand what you're saying, what you're getting at. But the truth is, we got it twisted, bro. You know what I mean? So, I mean, Mank was a very artsy movie. I was sitting watching Mank and I was like, you know what's funny about this movie? It's on streaming, but the only people that would give a shit about this movie are cinephiles. For real. Isn't that kind of funny? But y'all watching that shit. You know y'all got Netflix. All these grumpy motherfuckers out here that are like, I can't believe this shit's happening to Hollywood. They go home and put on Netflix. What do you think's happening? What do you think's going to happen? What? Just wake up. Anyway. Clapping these cheeks I am. Robert, that's for you. Colisto. Disney's potential for huge revenue will branch out even more from Disney Plus, from products, pranks, exactly, parks, etc. Exactly. More than other streaming services. 100%. 100%. That's the game, man. That's the game. They will certainly figure it out. Yep, and I'm excited. Appreciate the support, Patricia. Much love. You may have not seen my super chat last night, but when Theory read it, you sure did laugh at my joke about Grogu and eBay. Love what you're doing. Hey, thanks, Mike. Appreciate the love, man. Appreciate the love. Yeah. Hey, we're having such a good time, man. You know, the community's blowing up. Just having fun streams and just doing our thing, and man, 2021 is gonna be crazy. We've seen a lot of growth and we've had a lot of fun in the past couple of months, but I'm telling you, next year is gonna be nuts, boyos. It's gonna be nuts, dude. It's gonna be nuts. Buckle in. Do you think the movie theaters could become more of a luxury or special event form of entertainment, similar to Playhouse's change from common entertainment to the occasion? Yes, Charles, yes. Charles, that's an excellent point. So we talked about this, but there's an article from 2013. You should look it up. It's an article of 2013 with Steven Spielberg and George Lucas. And they're literally talking about this in 2013. They were talking about this. They were saying, like, dude, when Steven Spielberg and George Lucas can barely get their movies into theaters, you know the shit's changed. Like, shit has changed. And nowadays, it's all going to be entertainment that you could see in a theater for a luxury price, but you're probably going to watch on your computer, television, phone. In fact, I believe it was George that said, the question will become, do you want it to be seen in theaters or do you want it to be seen? That was in 2013 pre-COVID. This shit was already happening. You know what I mean? Yeah. Over under on Star Wars show announcements on the 10th. Oh, dude, the announcements are happening 100%. The announcements are happening 100%. What I'm confused about is if we'll see the footage. Are we going to get the footage or not? The announcements are coming. And I don't know how many announcements, but they're coming. And buckle up. You know what I mean? Buckle up. It's going to be juicy. Renee, what do you think about Disney doubling down on the High Republic, even though we haven't gotten anything from that era yet? Okay, so Renee, beautiful question. Great question. Appreciate you, bro. What do I think about it? I think, number one, Disney lied. They lied to us because they essentially first came out. Remember? They came out and said, this is a standalone. There's no video games. There's no movies. There's no shows. And remember, they tried to make people like me look dumb because I was like, I don't know about that. I'm actually hearing there's a video game. I'm actually hearing they might be doing movies. I'm actually hearing there could be animated shit. I'm actually hearing this, that, second, and the third. And then Disney, in their press release, tried to make people like me look dumb. That's what I think, first of all. Second of all, it is kind of bold. It is kind of bold. But I think they really strongly feel like they've got some magic there. You know what I mean? I also find that it could be a very interesting part of Star Wars to explore. Again, this word High Republic is being thrown around a lot, but I think the High Republic is technically the Old Republic. And we could see something like that happen. WandaVision trailer Thursday, maybe, but they don't need to show much more of WandaVision. They need to show us other things. You know what I mean? Yeah. Thoughts about Phase 5 announcement in the Disney investor call? There's going to be essentially a Phase 5 announcement. Like, there's going to be so much announced that basically I think it's Phase 4 2.0. I think it's the more true Phase 4, but we'll see. Every time I go on a tangent, you can see the monitor shake. Yeah, so I have a massive monitor, dude. It's like, bap, and so it like look at this thing. Ah! Yeah, we're shaking, shaking it up. Shake it up, baby. Shake it up, baby. Twist and shout. Twist and shout. Come on, now, baby. Okay. I think we're probably going to call it. I felt bad because I came on late. But, yeah, I got a lot to do today, guys. I got to get going. Got to get going. Why can nerds not sing? I don't know. Maybe it's a brain thing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to call it there. Thank you all so much for being here. The support's incredible. The community's awesome. I'm very excited for the videos that are coming out today and in the future. So make sure you check all that stuff out. Thursday's going to be a big day for us. Of course, we'll be running right into Mando early Friday. Saturday, please come by if you are a Nerdvenger. Got some cool stuff I want to talk to you guys about. And other than that, I think we're just doing our thing as per usual. Okay? As I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day. And, And I'll see you in the next video.